What's going on, mi gente? Le habla Jason Cerda. I'm sending a big hug and a big kiss to Inside Look TV. Los quiero mucho.
Hey, what's up, Raza? I am AB Quintanilla, and I want to send a shout out to everybody from Inside Look magazine.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what's going on with Jason Cerda? What's coming up next?
Right now, I'm actually in the studio working on a new album. It's going to probably be out September of this year. It's almost done. I have about 2 more songs to record and finish up, so it's going to be good. It has a little bit of everything on it. I've just been busy touring and trying to finish the album, so it's been good. I just got back from Dominican Republic. I was touring out there in Miami, and yeah, so it's been hectic, but it's been fun.
And I'm glad because personally we know him. So we want to know a little bit why you are here at Lulac. What do you think is important to support Lulac?
Well, I think Lulac does a lot for Hispanics in general. It's an important organization. They've had a lot of influential people come through here this week and speak and influence how the Latinos should politically get more involved and things like that. I think it's super important, especially with these elections coming up. I think it's really important for Latinos to be involved and have a big voice and be united.
And what's coming up next for Jason Cerda? Where are you headed? Any plans? Any new music coming out?
Yeah. We have a lot of new music coming out. Tours that we're working on right now, and we're going to be finishing the album. Once the album's done, is going to be hitting the road and performing as much as possible.
All right. So can you sing a little snippet for us of any song that people want to hear?
Sure.
We heard of.
Yeah. Actually performed one of the singles off the album today. It was the song I opened up with. It's called Tú te lo pierdes, and it goes like this. Y todo por tu amor quise ganarme tu querer, pero dicen que no hay peor ciego que sé que no quiere ver. Y yo no sé qué me pasa, pero ya nada conozco. No sé si fue brujería, pero sí sé que tú te lo pierdes.
Can you tell us how has Lulac helped you?
I joined Lulac last summer, July. I'm an LGBT fellow, and most of what I do, we have a grant from the CDC and a grant from Arcus Foundation, and so I'm helping my direct supervisor, David Perez, on creating a nationwide LGBT Latino infrastructure. And so with the grants that we receive, we give out sub-grants to other councils throughout the nation. And so me personally, I want to get into LGBT and Latino activism, and so this is the perfect initial step for me in getting into the nonprofit world and getting the experience that I need to be successful in that career.
And what has been your favorite part about this conference this week?
I think we had a really great lineup. The staff is pretty small and everyone works really hard, but we managed to host around 17,000 Latinos in DC and have a successful program, and I think it's been challenging but really rewarding.
And so you talked a little bit about what you want to do in the future. Do you have any more goals that you want to talk about?
I'm still in undergraduate school, and so I graduate next December. So that's the first step. And then I'm going to apply to grad school or law school yet. It's pretty up in the air, but I think eventually I want to be in a place where I'm working towards social justice and public service.
Sun chips. The green one? Alright, good choice. 30% these chips are special, okay? Because they're 30% less fat and also are healthy, 100% whole grain.
can you tell us a little bit more about Lulac and the goals of the organization?
Sure. Lulac was founded in 1929, and we are the oldest and largest membership civil rights organization in the country.
Sweet and simple. And what are your goals for this week's conference, and do you think you've achieved those so far?
Oh yes, I mean I think we just blew those goals away. I mean, one of them we were looking at attendance, for the conference. Being here in Washington during an election year is very, very, very important. For our lunch, on Wednesday with Senator Sanders, we had over 1,200 people attend. For Secretary Clinton, we had close to 1,500 people attend. And then tonight's dinner with Attorney General Loretta Lynch, we had over 1,000 people attend. So from the attendance standpoints, to listen to such speakers was great. Our workshops were standing room only. We had workshops on civil rights, women's issues, health, immigration. I mean, just so many wonderful topics that we shared with the community and our members. We had 8 cabinet secretaries with us at this convention, which was unheard of. I mean, we were literally the convention of the Latino community this year, bar none. And we've literally blown out the numbers. And when we were doing the estimates on the traffic, we had traffic of about 15,000 go through our exhibition hall, which is incredible.
And so what are your future goals for your organization?
Well, the more future, the most immediate one is as soon as we elect a new president in this country to work with that individual to pass comprehensive immigration reform. That is the immediate goal. Of our organization. It's something that we've been working on for the past literally 8 years. But we really feel that this time around with, a new president in office, that we will be able to achieve a form of comprehensive immigration reform.
Can you tell us why it is important to support or to be here tonight at Lulac?
It's important for many reasons. The power that Lulac has is incredible. If we look back, I don't know how many years ago it was when SELENA had passed away, Howard Stern had made some inappropriate comments on his radio show. They were really, really serious things that a touchy subject for any family or community that has lost somebody, like SELENA. And probably within one day, he lost almost half of his sponsorships, which that adds up to millions of dollars. And he ended up apologizing the next day in Spanish, that he was sorry. Which, Lulac does more than that. They represent all facets of life in general, from communities to helping people like our family, which we really appreciated it, because there was some hurtful things said, and to watch important people go into doing positive things is a really beautiful thing. I was given the honors, I think maybe it was, I don't know how many years ago it was recently, of playing at Monument Mall. And for me, I've played with SELENA, the Astrodome 5 times. I've done so many things, but to me that was one of the greatest experiences. And they also gave me the Presidential Medal of Honor also, which was amazing. It was given to me by the then president, and what can I say? Lulac, where do I start? They help the youth, they help the elderly, they help anybody that needs help, any Latino that needs help, and as a matter of fact, was also founded in Corpus Christi. So that's pretty cool information also. So I could sit here and go on and on about Lulac, on how wonderful an organization is, but the most wonderful thing is all the smiling faces that are sitting outside right now waiting to hear some cumbias. So I'm ready to do my job and just entertain everybody and make sure everybody leaves here with a smile. And I'm sure they're leaving with a smile anyway, because I believe a lot of important issues were addressed at these meetings, and we'll see some positive progress from the Latinos.
Thank you for all the words that you just mentioned, because it is true, Lulac is about that. Our show is very different. We're about inspiring people and finding out why a celebrity, a nonprofit is there for the community. And we want to know who inspires you, who keeps you going, and not only that, but who inspired you to get into the music industry.
Everybody already knows how I got inspired and how I got into the music industry, and that was by my father, Abraham Quintanilla, and I want to thank him because, he's the reason that I'm still doing what I'm doing. I wish I was still doing this with SELENA, but I continue to do this to carry on family tradition. And what we set out to do was to bring music to people and make people happy. And I've seen so many positive results from the music that I've produced and the shows. And I have autistic kids come, kids with Down syndrome, kids that never tried to talk before, they try to sing, whether it's to Selena's music or my music, which to all you guys watching out there, it's the same thing. I made both of them. So a lot of people go, we love your sister's music, but we love your music too. Their music, hers is special though, because she sang it. So that's the only difference, but it comes from the same place, from my heart.
Thank you so much for saying that. Personally, of course, my heart too, because I was pretty young when I didn't want to go through that detail. But I do want to say, where you created this beautiful group, Cumbia Kings, and plus you've done so many things for other artists. What's coming up for you? What is your goal in the next, 5 to 10 years?
My goal is, the goal that I have is I've been working on an album. It took me 2 years to put it together, and if I was to go tomorrow, which I hope I don't, I would be very satisfied as this being my last album. So I'm very happy with it. I've signed with a huge label out of California. I've signed with a huge agency out of Mexico. I just hit a little bump there was some legalities in between record labels and stuff, and finding sometimes you get tied to a wrong marriage with a record label, and then you have to kind of sit it out till the contract's over, and then you get to move on to somebody else. So I now have the opportunity to start kind of clearing things out, and within, I think, the next 6 weeks, we should be hearing a new album from me, and hopefully, con favor de Dios, putting myself back in the top 10 positions again on the charts.